Hello guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel or you have not yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button and the bell so that you can be notified each time I post a new video. Today I'll be talking about imposter syndrome, a phenomenon that is very common among medical students and beyond. That is to say that it cuts across other areas of study and career. I've done some research, I've gathered some facts, and I've come up with a note, and from there we'll be discussing about this. We'll be talking about this under 5 headings. What is imposter syndrome? Causes of imposter syndrome, features of imposter syndrome, types of imposter syndrome, and how to deal with imposter syndrome. Let's get into it. What is imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome is the feeling of inadequacy compared to one's peers, irrespective of one's good standing or achievements. This can be in terms of skill, it can be in terms of intellect, it can be in terms of accomplishments. Another way you can look at this is when one feels that he or she is not good enough compared to his or her peers, irrespective of being high performing in external objective ways. And this can be in terms of intellect, it can be in terms of skill, it can be in terms of accomplishments, as mentioned before. So someone that has imposter syndrome doesn't feel confident or competent regardless of what they achieve. They don't feel adequate. They don't feel that they have what it takes, regardless of whatever it is that they have achieved. They look down on themselves. They underestimate themselves. They don't experience the joy of success, and that is because they always feel that they are inadequate. Most times, people mistaking imposter syndrome for humility and caution. However, these are two different concepts. Humility and caution stem from accurate assessment of one's capabilities against a complex situation, while imposter syndrome stems from a place of inadequacy in the environment despite objectively being competent. For imposter syndrome, these people they have the skill, they have the intellect, they have what it takes to accomplish maybe a task that is before them. However, they look at themselves as not being enough. They undervalue themselves. They don't recognize what they have. They don't recognize their value. That's basically the difference between these two. And like I said, most times people tend to juggle these two together. They tend to take one for the other, but they are very different concepts. Now, the next point, what are some of the causes of imposter syndrome? One is pressure. This pressure can be from family, it can be from one's social cycle. When one feels the need to be validated, probably by the family or the social cycle, but his or her efforts are not recognized, it can tilt this person into imposter syndrome. It can tilt the person into feeling that he is not good enough. Let's say, for instance, someone that came from a family of doctors, or let's say the father is a doctor or the mother is a doctor, both are doctors. There's this high expectation, of course, that they'll have of this person, and if this if irrespective of the efforts that this person is putting out, doing his best, they don't recognize it, it will make this person to feel that he is not good enough. It will make the person to feel inadequate. It will make the person to feel that he doesn't or she doesn't belong there. Then remember that I said that it can also be from one's social cycle, not necessarily your family. Any pressure that can cause you to feel inadequate, to feel that you are not good enough, whilst you have what it takes, can cause imposter syndrome. Now, the next thing there is personality. Now, there are people that naturally they don't talk about their feelings. They internalize everything, and the result of that is when they are struggling with something, when they have a bump in life, they internalize it, they regurgitate and ruminate over it for so long that it can get to a point where they start having negative thoughts about themselves. They start feeling that they are not good enough, that they don't have what it takes. So these people easily can suffer from this imposter syndrome. Now, the next point is, what are the features of imposter syndrome? You can agree with me that, oh, at one point in your life you have doubted yourself. Sometimes it happens. I've experienced it, and I believe a lot of us have experienced that. However, what are the features of imposter syndrome? The features of this include self-doubt, like I mentioned before, sabotaging one's success, setting unrealistic expectations, continuous fear of not living up to expectations, undervaluing contributions, and the last one is burnout. I'll be taking this one after the other. The first one is self-doubt. People that have imposter syndrome, they suffer from lack of self-worth and self-efficacy, which in turn waters the persistent feelings of anxiety regarding their ability to succeed. They feel that they are not good enough. They doubt their capacity. They doubt what they can do. Yes, they are good. They have what it takes. But then they look down on themselves. They feel that they are not good. This in turn fuels the persistent feeling of anxiety, and that can lead to imposter syndrome. The next one is sabotaging self-success. People with imposter syndrome, they view success as unattainable. They don't feel that they can achieve success, irrespective of having what it takes to achieve it. These guys, they literally write themselves off. They tell themselves that they are not good enough. Remember, they have what it takes. And psyching themselves out will lead to them applying less efforts because they don't believe that they have what it takes. So they don't they don't invest themselves in whatever it is that they have at hand. So they put less efforts, less attention, less creativity, and persistence until it gets to a point where it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They come to a point where that thing that they have been thinking starts manifesting. They have difficulty attaining success because they believe that they can't attain it. Why they have this what it takes to attain it. Then the next point there is setting unrealistic expectations. I say that these people, they feel they don't have what it takes. They look down on themselves. They don't value themselves. They feel that they are inadequate. The resultant effect of that is that in order to accommodate this inadequacy, as they have described it to be, they set for themselves unrealistic goals. They set for themselves unrealistic targets so that they can accommodate this inadequacy. The next thing there is continuous fear of not living up to expectations. Basically, from the start, these people have already told themselves, I don't have what it takes. I don't have the skill. I don't have the competency or whatever it is. They feel that they are not good enough right from the start. Because of that, they hardly achieve any goal. Irrespective of the goal that they set for themselves, they don't attain it. They have difficulty achieving it because from the beginning, from the start, they believe it is impossible. Now, the next point is undervaluing contributions. These people, they feel that they're not good enough. That is something that is peculiar about them. So they don't value themselves, therefore they don't value their contributions. They are reluctant to say their mind. They are reluctant to give their own opinion, irrespective of the fact that they might have the right knowledge and be in the best position to give that contribution, but they don't. And that's because they look down on themselves, they don't value themselves. Then the next one is burnout. Burnout. These guys, because they set unrealistic goals for themselves, what happens is that they exponentially expend their energy pursuing these unrealistic goals, and at the end this can tilt them towards breakdown. Now the next point is, what are the types of imposter syndrome? The first one is the perfectionist. This person wants everything to be perfect. He wants everything to be perfect, as the name entails, the perfectionist. Then the next one is the superwoman or the superman. This group of people, because they want to prove themselves, they take on a lot so as to prove themselves. They are seeking for validation. Then the next one is the natural genius. This person don't really have difficulty doing things. He or she puts in little efforts but still gets results. And for these people, they want to get everything right at first. And what happens is that when they eventually don't get it right, they feel that they have failed. And with such feeling, they lose interest. They feel that they are not enough. They start doubting themselves. The loner. So these ones are not willing to reach out. They are not willing to seek for help irrespective of the situation. They feel ashamed asking for help. The next point here is practical ways to deal with imposter syndrome. Here I have highlighted 3 practical ways to deal with imposter syndrome, and they are sequential, they are sequential in step. The first one there is self-awareness, self-consciousness. Like I said in the beginning of this video, these people, they feel that they are not good enough. It's not something that is external, it's something that is within them. It is an internal emotion, it is an internal feeling. Self-awareness is all about you being aware of your thoughts, aware of your emotions, aware of the things that goes on through your mind. Because by being aware of yourself, aware of your thoughts and all that, you'll be able to isolate these feelings when you come across them. You'll be able to know when you are feeling that self-doubt, when you are feeling that you're not good enough. Self-awareness is very important in dealing with this. Then this will now lead us to the next point, which is evaluation or reassessment of your emotions. Now you have identified this feeling of doubt, this feeling of self-doubt. You evaluate your emotions, your feelings, and then that will lead us to the next step, response. By the time you have identified these feelings and identified the reasons why you're feeling that way, you have to respond to it. And your response must be intentional and objective. You have to be intentional about your response towards whatever it is that you have found out. And your response, it can be in the form of self-reassurance, it can be in the form of it can be in the form of affirmation, it can be in the form of self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Some people are not kind to themselves. They are very hard on themselves. Actually, they feel that they don't have what it takes, why in the actual sense, objectively speaking, they have what it takes. Your response, it can be in the form of refocusing your values. You're seeking for validation, maybe among people that don't even care about you. Maybe they are just out there to make you feel bad about yourself, and then you go on to give them that access by feeling that way. Just reassess your values and say things right. Be kind to yourself. Don't write yourself off. Don't put yourself off. Don't psych yourself out. You have what it takes. Objectively look at yourself. Be objective about yourself. This is very important in dealing with imposter syndrome. It is sequential. This all I've said is what I feel you should know about imposter syndrome. I don't know if you have any thoughts, but whatever it is that you have to add to this, if you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section. I will read it. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed, and don't forget to share. Bye.